What's up, YouTube? It is your boy Sanchez 405 coming at you on the Warpath, y'all. It is Warpath Wednesday live here, talking to you here in the war room. And I'm going to get straight to it, boys and girls. None of us liked what we saw on Sunday. It was atrocious. It was disgusting. Offense held to 10 points, turned the ball over 3 times. Kirk Cousins, the $24 million quarterback, looked like a $24 quarterback, but he did lead the Redskins in 3 key components: passing, rushing, and turnovers. We can debate and see whether that last one really counted. I'll talk about that a little bit later, but just a couple of things before I move on to the Rams. I'll talk about the offense. Offense looked disgusting. Offensive line, Fat Rob looked like stuffed Rob. And for the most part, the receivers weren't on the same page. It took them a long time to get going. I feel like Kirk Cousins, he looked average, below average. He just looked bizarre. What's up, Amir? And I just feel like it could have been a whole lot better than what it was. I sit there and I look at the game. I rewatched some of this, and I said, you know, we might be a little diluted here, but I'm still not giving hope on this team. Focus on the good parts. They did score a touchdown. Chris Thompson had a great touchdown reception effort. It was all effort by him to give Kirk Cousins that first touchdown pass on the season. And that's kind of where it kind of spiraled. It didn't really do anything. The offense really didn't do anything all day. And I really can't even excuse it. Usually you can find a way to excuse some of the stuff that the Skins do on offense. Jay Gruden needs to get his head out of his back end. And he needs to go back and either let Matt Cavanaugh call the plays, or he needs to relinquish it, because it's looking like the 2014 Redskins or what it's about to gear up to. But the defense, I thought there were a lot of pluses on defense, though. The defense did give up, what was it, 22 points or so. Yeah, it was 22 points. But outside that ugly Nelson Aguilar pass, they could do a little bit better on third down. They need to get that 57% down to as low as possible. I did like Preston Smith getting to Carson Wentz. I like the 2 turnovers, the awareness to get on that ball, on that backwards pass. Picking off Carson Wentz by Ryan Kerrigan. He's 3 for 3, scoring touchdowns off of interceptions and everything. But the Redskins are 1-2 in those games. I think Minuski had a good game plan, but I think the defense could only do so much, as the offense was as inept as it performed. Going back to the offense, speaking of which, it sounds like I'm going to beat up on Kirk Cousins, which I am going to beat up on him, because it's 3 things that you look at from a quarterback position that I look at. What did they do? How his pass, his completions and turnovers. He had 3 turnovers. He was just north of 50%. You want that at 60, 63% to be a successful quarterback. He failed at that. Whether you want to blame the offensive line, whether you want to blame Brad Allen, that's totally up to you. But and then the other thing is, what do you do on third downs? You're 3 of 11 on third downs, the money down. You failed in that regard. In the red zone, you were 0 for 2, throwing a pick in the end zone. So you failed. And I'll leave it at that. But even going back to the bad call, which it was a bad call, and I'm not going to excuse Brad Allen and let them off the hook on this one. It was bad. His hand was going forward, but I could see why they said the rule on field stance. We shouldn't have been in that point to begin with. We look at it from that standpoint. I look at it from that standpoint. Maybe you don't turn the ball over in the red zone. Maybe you and Jameson Crowder are on the same communication link, or you throw, or just throw it out. You live to fight another day, and this was the struggle for the Redskins down the stretch last year. The red zone offense looked putrid, but I'll leave it at that. That is yesterday's game. We're over with that. Now we get ready to go to LA to take on Sean McVay, Jared Goff, Todd the Gurley man, Joe sweeter the juice, darker the berry, and Wade Phillips. And these guys, they came out and they should have been arrested. LAPD should have been out there because they whooped up on the Colts like they were the police, and the Colts were Rodney King. I swear to God, it looked like, and we could not get along with that. Jared Goff looked good. He threw 300 yards. Todd Gurley 40 yards. So him and Kirk Cousins are running neck and neck, leading their teams in the rushing category. But the big thing was they scored 2 touchdowns defensively. For a team that turned the ball over 3 times, Wade Phillips is going to make you pay if you don't go out there and do your job. You have to protect your quarterback. Mm-hmm. Your quarterback has to hold on to the ball. I think this needs to be a cognizant thing. You have to be aware. He just has to be aware. His awareness has to be a lot better and sensing out that pressure, because he really looked like he was just going through the motions. Kirk Cousins did. And you don't think Sean McVay has had this game circled since the schedule came out in April? You must be out your damn mind, because this man is looking to show that the student can beat the master, and or the teacher, if you want to call Jay Gruden that. But and you look at Sean McVay, he had been there with Kirk Cousins since Kirk Cousins was a rookie, and when he was the tight ends coach, and then moving on. That's another thing. Speaking of tight ends, Jordan Reed hopefully he will be feeling more like himself. Him and Kirk Cousins, Terrell Pryor got to get on the same page. Jameson Crowder, I know he had the hip flexor, but they have to get on this page, folks, in order to win. This defense is going to come out strong. Aaron Donald will be back this week. How much he plays after being out in the preseason, yet to be seen. But if this guy is a football player, in the words of John Gruden, he'll be ready to go, and he'll be ready to succeed in Wade Phillips' defense. But we can't. This is the cliche, the proverbial, whatever you want to call it. It is a must-win, because this is. I'm not going to call it a must-win. I'm going to call this a snowball effect game. And if this snowball of losing gets more fuel, it's going to get bad really quickly, because you've got the Oakland Raiders coming to FedEx next week. You've got Kansas City in Arrowhead, and then you have San Francisco coming in there bye week, and you've got Philly, you've got Dallas. This season could snowball very quickly for the Burgundy and Gold if this is not a victory. This is an all-cost snowball effect game that can affect you. See that, and it's crazy to say it in week 2. The stats support it. If you look at if you look at the percentages, if you start 0-2, you're not going to make the playoffs. But I mean, the way this team looked in week 1, as sluggish as they were on offense, week 2 might just be they're the only thing that we have to look forward to. I did, and going back to the Philadelphia game, I liked what Jonathan Allen did. He was looking good. He didn't really look like a rookie. He got in there on some plays. But it's gut check time. It's time for not only this team to rise up, but the fans. We gotta rise up. We cannot be down on our laurels. I saw on the live stream, we're starting to shoot ourselves in the head, going in that closet, going into that dark space. We can't do that. It's too early to sell the ship just now. It's too early, y'all. We have to support this team. I know it looks bleak, but like I said, Warpath Wednesday last week, this team is the Phoenix. The ashes are there. We shall rise up, and we will take out this team on Sunday in LA. First visit in 20-some years. Redskins are coming out. Sean McVay, he better be ready, because although the Skins know you, and they know what to expect out of you. It's going to be familiar. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think somewhere in the 30s to high 20s. Redskins, I'll give a score. I'll say 38-31, and that I really do think it's going to be a fun game to see our team out there winning this game, and hopefully being 1-1, getting ready to take on those upstart Raiders. And we will just see the live stream will be on. I believe it's a 4:25 game, and so it's going to be a little bit later in the day. So maybe the Skins can use that to their advantage. They said in the media this week. I was on Redskins.com. It's like Kirk Cousins knows he has to do better. Well, no, duh. That's like saying a bad kid in class needs to learn how to behave. Of course, it's just I don't know, but we're gonna have some fun going down here. But we got these Rams, y'all. Don't worry. I think it's gonna get better before it gets worse. Maybe if they get this balance, I really do think maybe Samaje P. Ryan needs to get some carries here. Hopefully in practice he gets them. Where am I from? I'm from Virginia. I'm excited. I'm always excited to see this team go out here and play to the best of their abilities. Hopefully Kirk Cousins plays like the $24 million quarterback that we know he can play at. Terrell Pryor cost us the game. Man, I think the whole offense cost us the game, to be honest with you. And I think from the protection on the offensive line to not running the ball to Jameson Crowder, that connection between Jameson Crowder and Kirk Cousins in the red zone. And then you are right. That is a proponent of Terrell Pryor and them not – I think it's 50-50. I think a couple of balls might have been too strong going to Pryor, and then I think some was his fault going into the end zone. I think he kind of gave up on that ball going on the right sideline, and then the opening possession on the first play, I think that he mistimed the pass, and I think that's his fault too. But to say it's just Terrell Pryor's fault, I think that's a disservice to him. We'll use this one as a scratch, and you can't discredit what the Eagles did coming in here 5 in a row. Did not expect their defense to play that good. Yeah, I mean, the defense, like I said, did play really well. They contained Wentz for the most part. You have to come down on third down. You've got to come down on the third down percentages. Paris, you gotta get a better connection, man. Yeah, I gotta hear your thoughts so I can agree and disagree and whatever with you, man. But put them in the comments and I'll do it on the live stream. And the last call was BS. Yeah, I would say Wayne's World. I would really say that it's BS, but you shouldn't be in that position to begin with anyway. If you're not turning the ball over, it's like I said, going back to that snowball effect. Maybe if you score a touchdown down there without throwing that interception in the red zone, we might not be talking about that bad call that Brad Allen's team made. I think his hand was going forward when he let the ball go. It was a bad call, but I do also think where Ryan Kerrigan had that interception, there was illegal hands to the face on, I don't remember if it was Ziggy Hood or whoever, but somebody came, or Zach Brown. I believe it was Zach Brown who also looked good in that game. But that was illegal hands to the face or face mask or whatever below the head of the quarterback, however you want to say it. But they didn't call that. So just looking at it objectively, because I'm biased. I am not gonna lie, I'm biased as all get out. But I do see. I just think you can't blame that one thing on the whole game on that one call. It was a bad call, but going there, and I might have kind of misconstrued what you said there. So if I did, I do apologize. But I just feel like you can't. I don't feel like one play loses the game. I never really felt that way. I think multiple plays and trends affect how the game is the outcome of the game. So you just can't let these things happen. You got to execute in the red zone. 0 for 2 in the red zone. You have to execute. There's no excuse why you are. Yeah, and going back to what I said too about the Rams, and like I said, the Rams were LAPD and the Colts were Rodney King, and they just didn't get along. But it was an LA riot at the Coliseum. Joe Barry, he's going to be mad for getting fired as defense coordinator. He's the assistant head coach linebackers. And Sean McVay, we already know what Sean McVay is capable of. What a great young offensive mind. I really do like what the Rams are putting together there. I mean, if you don't like Wade Phillips and you don't like football, then you're not a football fan. And Sean McVay, just to see the young and old, you've got that veteran defensive coordinator, that young up-and-coming head coach, offensive mind in his 30s. It's a great combination there. The O-line did look terrible. They looked horrendous. Morgan Moses didn't look like worth the money he was paid in the offseason. We didn't hear that much out of Sheriff. Sharon Laval got beat a couple times. I think Spencer Long, that was really his first game after a while. So he was getting his sea legs back under him. I think, Trent Williams did the best he could, and I think Ty Nsekhe did well coming in for him those couple of plays. But a lot of that pressure was coming from that right side, whether you want to blame it on Fletcher Cox coming through there and everything, you can. But we will see. We'll move on from there. How do I feel about Jay's play calling? I think there's a lot to be desired. He talks about balance, but I really do. You look at him in Cincinnati, he's a throw first, run later guy, although he does preach balance. I don't really. it's kind of hard really to say what his play calling is. I mean, we look at his first season as the chief play caller, and it really didn't turn out that well. It leaves a lot to be desired. I mean, I still believe in Jay Gruden as a head coach, as a play caller. I don't really know. But in that case, are you going to give it to Matt Cavanaugh? Or are you going to give it to Bill Callahan? I really don't think so, because these guys, neither one of these guys have proven to be the greatest of offensive play callers. Matt Cavanaugh was the offense coordinator for the 2000 Ravens, and we know how that offense was not really that good. Bill Callahan. So you really don't have a bright offensive mind on there anymore. I guess you could say Jay Gruden is. But it's a lot to be desired there, my friend. And hopefully we can get a little bit better there. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. Bring John back as an offensive coach. I don't think they could coexist. I think you've got two alpha males there. And I don't think they would coexist together. Just where Jay's had the taste of being a head coach, offense coordinator now. I don't think he could tell Big Brother what to do in that respect. But we'll see what happens there. But we really do have to pick up the pace and see what happens. And hey, just got to get up and rise to the occasion. As for and my message, if I'm sitting here and before I get ready to end my video, my message to us, the fans, it looked bad. It was bad, but we move on. Tomorrow is another day, y'all. We have to look forward to tomorrow. We forget about this on the LA. On to the Rams, y'all. The Skins can beat this team. We can't lose faith in this team. We really can't. Not just yet. This team is, I think they have good things coming up here. I believe that we can still put something together, salvage this season with a win in LA. Come back and talk. If we lose, come back and talk to me a little bit later. Yeah, Titans have a good chance there, and I don't come to Maryland. No, too far away. But we got this, y'all. Rise up by any means. That's the team's motto. By any means. By any means. And I think they need to live that motto. They haven't. They did not live it in week one. But then again, you had a team that you beat up on 5 times in a row. Now you know not to take your opponent so lightly or take anything for granted. Nothing is promised. You have to go out there and earn everything every single day, y'all. As always, if you like what you see, subscribe, tell your friends about me. Also, y'all know Amir. Tell them about Amir. Just subscribe. We got a lot of things coming out. We've got those scheduled videos halfway through that. We've got the live stream coming up, and that's going to be really exciting. Hopefully we can get a little bit where I can get a little bit of the game in there. We'll work really hard to do that, but there's kind of some there are little broadcasting laws that the NFL doesn't like to do and that YouTube doesn't like to do as well. So we got to be a little bit light with that. So tell your friends, hey, this is just a supplement. Come and watch us. But I'm really excited for Sunday. I'm ready to get this taste out of my mouth and finally get a win in the year 2017. Because if you think about it, the team has not won in this calendar year just yet. Let's put this behind us. Go Skins. Hail to the Redskins. Hail victory. Hail to you all. I love you guys very much. Thank you for all your support. Subscribe to us. Share us on Facebook. Wherever you are, if you see something you like, if you have any ideas, just send us a message too. And, we will definitely try and work that in. But I am ever so grateful to all of you guys for just listening and subscribing to us here as we get ready to really go into where we are into year 2 already, and I'm just humbled by the support that we have here, and I appreciate you guys. I love you, and as always, love, peace, and hail. And I'll be talking to you real soon. I'm out, y'all.